Merry Christmas, Peonies, and happy holidays to everyone watching right now. Christmas is usually supposed to feel warm, cozy, and comforting, but today we're going to look at the exact opposite side of the holidays. We're getting into lost and forgotten clips from cartoons, games, and other unsettling Christmas content that mysteriously disappeared from TV and the internet. Some of these were removed because they were way too dark for audiences, and others just vanished without any clear explanation at all. So really pay attention, because once you see these pieces of lost media, Christmas might honestly never feel the same again. So go ahead, get comfortable, grab a warm drink, maybe pull a blanket over your shoulders, and let's talk about Christmas lost media together, and comment what you got for Christmas this year. Let's start off with some lost games, because this one really surprised me. The first game we're going to talk about is called Talking Santa, and yes, it's from the Talking Tom franchise that a lot of us grew up with.
Let's talk about Talking Santa. The game was created by Outfit 7. The game was created in 29th of November 2010 as the 7th app of the Talking Friends series. The game was removed in 2018 or 2019 for unknown reasons. And I remember that the Santa appeared on the Talking Tom series cartoons. But we have some videos of the game, like this video. So what do you guys think about this lost media game? Now I will gonna leave.
Apparently, this piece of lost media glitched really badly, and that's probably why it was removed. But what makes it even more interesting is that this was actually the first character in the Talking Tom series that was human instead of an animal, and I don't know about you, but something about that just feels a little off and uncomfortable. Now let's move on to a much more disturbing Christmas game called Christmas Massacre. Apparently you can still play it somewhere online, but I personally haven't been able to track it down, so instead, let's talk about what this game is like.
Let's talk about a Christmas horror game you can play right now. Christmas Massacre. And yes, this is another puppet combo horror game, so get ready. Christmas Massacre is a bit different from games like Nun Massacre because this time you actually play as the killer. You play as a guy named Larry who's dressed in a Santa suit and starts talking to his Christmas tree. The only problem is the Christmas tree is telling him to kill people. So in every level, that's exactly what you do. It's your job to play as Santa, or Larry I guess, and make sure nobody escapes. This horror game is really more funny than it is scary, but what better way to get into the feeling of the season?
Yeah, the narrator is definitely trying to be funny, but honestly, this game is really creepy. This is not the kind of game you want to play to get into the holiday spirit. The whole thing reminds me a lot of the 1980s. The visuals, the colors, and even the art style feel straight out of that time period, and somehow that just makes it feel even more disturbing and wrong. Alright, now let's move away from games and get into some lost media and cartoons, starting with this Christmas commercial.
A lost media creepy Christmas commercial that was banned from TV. This is the Green Street's Red promo that terrified viewers in 1983. It aired only once on KGO-TV in San Francisco, a strange holiday segment called Green Street Reds. It opened up like any normal Christmas spot. Soft music, bright lights, Santa drifting peacefully across the sky. Then everything flipped. The screen cut to a Soviet radar system locking in on Santa's sleigh. A missile launched, and the promo showed Santa taken out of the sky in a fiery explosion. This wasn't a parody, it wasn't dark humor, it was a real Cold War news teaser meant to shock viewers into watching an upcoming investigation about Soviet influence. Now, as you can imagine, parents were outraged, kids were traumatized. The station pulled the promo almost immediately, no explanation, no apology. Because it only aired once, many people wondered if it really existed. For years, it lived as an urban legend until a grainy VHS tape resurfaced online, proving every disturbing second was real. To this day, no one knows who approved it, or why trying to kill Santa was their idea of holiday marketing. I guess some Christmas commercials weren't made for joy. They were made for nightmares.
I genuinely cannot believe they tried to sneak politics into a Christmas commercial. It honestly makes sense why this ended up getting banned. And let's be real, trying to mess with Santa's image on television is almost never going to go well. So, to whoever decided this was a good idea, I can't say I feel bad that their work didn't make it to TV. Now let's talk about South Park for a moment. I actually found a tape that's believed to be one of the very first things South Park ever created, and it even helped launch the show early on, but for pretty obvious reasons. It was never meant to be shown publicly at the time, so let's take a look.
Go, Santa! Go, Jesus!
No, you son of a bitch! Come on! Boys, help me put an end to him once and for all. No, boys, help me, so that I can put an end to him.
Who should we help?
I say we help Santa Claus.
You're just saying that because he brings you candy.
Hey, I don't need to take that kind of shit from a Jew.
You're such a fat fuck, Cartman, that when you walk down the street, people go, God damn it, that is a big fat fuck!
Oh, yeah? Well, listen up.
Yeah, if we ignore the inappropriate language, which is very normal for South Park, it's still probably not a great idea to have Santa and Jesus fighting each other. So honestly, I can completely understand why this became lost media and wasn't shown on television. Alright, now let's take a look at this Nutcracker cartoon movie, which honestly feels like it's slowly fading out of history. I personally found it a little strange, and there were definitely some creepy moments in it. So let's watch this TikTok that explains it better.
This cartoon Nutcracker movie is on the verge of becoming lost media. This is my favorite Christmas cartoon. It came out in 1990, stars Kiefer Sutherland, Megan Follows, and Peter O'Toole. And it has an amazing depiction of one of the best Christmas characters of all time, Drosselmeyer.
Uncle Drosselmeyer?
Time that was, time shall be, but waste it not, ere it waste thee.
But despite the amazing cast, being the best version of this story, and even having a theatrical release, this movie is on the verge of extinction. It can't be streamed, it can't be purchased. The DVD versions available are bootlegged versions of this low-quality rip that exists on archive.org. So it exists, but the quality is unwatchable. However, the YouTube channel Animation Compendia uploads film scans of theatrical trailers and other types of media. And they got their hands on a film reel containing the trailer for The Nutcracker Prince. They scanned it in 4K, and it gives us a glimpse of the quality we could be watching this movie in if it had been preserved properly.
Charge! The Nutcracker Prince.
There's also one other YouTube channel called Bad Princess Movies, which has uploaded scenes from the film, which are clearly sourced from a higher quality copy than the archive.org version, but I'm not sure where they're getting this footage from.
I've never actually seen this version before, but yeah, it definitely has that old, uncomfortable vibe. Some of the character designs are just weird. And of course, the Rat King, who I've always found creepy in every version of the Nutcracker, makes it even worse. Now, the next cartoon I'm going to show you comes from an independent filmmaker. I don't know the title of it, but the short animation itself is really unsettling, so let's check it out together. Full-on Christmas horror story. Santa absolutely should not have nipples, and Rudolph looks like he's about to do something horrible after Santa gets stuck in the chimney. As the short keeps going, it just gets creepier and creepier. The atmosphere becomes darker and more ominous as Santa slowly realizes he's completely trapped. I would really love to know the name of this piece of lost media, so if you recognize it, please tell me in the comments. Now we have one extremely creepy photo that became lost media, but that's not even the worst part. According to the story, the people in the photo were also lost to time, which makes this whole situation feel even more chilling. So let's talk about it.
You'll never look at a mall Santa the same way after hearing this story. So this photo was taken around 1920 in a Christmas fair happening outside of Boston. The young child in this photo is Alberta Porter, the daughter of Robert Porter, who was supposed to be Boston's next mayor. Apparently, this Santa had set up around the corner from the rest of the fair and was not visible from the rest of the fair. Robert and his daughter actually didn't even see the Santa until they were walking home. The line to see Santa inside of the fair was way too long, so when Alberta saw this Santa, she started crying and begging her dad to take a photo with him. So this photo was taken, and afterwards, the Santa asked if Alberta wanted to go on a short ride on the donkey. And she starts crying and begging her father again, so he agrees. But Alberta never returned. An hour went by and Santa still hadn't brought her back. Robert ran into the fair to ask an employee how long the donkey rides typically last, but the employee seemed really confused. There was no Santa with donkey rides at this fair. The employee pointed to the Santa who had a long line of children out in front of him and said that was the only Santa at the fair. Alberta was never found, and Robert actually dropped out of politics to spend his entire life and savings on finding her and the man who took her, and never did.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the comments I saw under the TikTok. I really don't think it's a good idea to take a picture with someone who looks like that and claims to be Santa. But at the same time, I do feel really bad for the girl who went missing. May she rest in peace. Alright, Peonies, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you're having a great Christmas and holiday season. Let me know what you got for Christmas in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon. Stay safe and happy holidays.